What did I say a few weeks ago? They are as over as they're ever going to be. You're using the goodwill and nostalgia. Start them off in a high-profile position, because nostalgia's shelf life is shorter and they're not the Hardys of 20 years ago. It's bad, and at the same time you feel very sad, because everybody would like to have them as what they were, but time waits for no man, especially men who have taken a bunch of bumps through tables. These were the exact words of Jim Cornette, sometimes controversial yet great mind in the wrestling industry, who has years of experience in booking, managing, training, and commentating. When Broken Matt Hardy debuted in AEW during the pandemic as Broken Matt, it was an incredible sight to behold, yet his hype and momentum didn't last very long, and after a couple of weeks, Broken Matt went back to his roots by using a more generic gimmick, Big Money Matt, leading the Hardy family office, probably one of the most boring and useless stables in AEW history. Fast forward a few months, Private Party turns on Matt, and Andrade becomes the leader of the stable. Meanwhile, Jeff Hardy gets released from the WWE and debuts with All Elite Wrestling, teaming up with his brother Matt and reforming the Team Extreme, the Hardy Boys that we all grew up watching and admiring. And the problem lies exactly here. The AEW version of the Hardys is not the same team we grew up on. I wouldn't necessarily say that they're too old to wrestle or should retire, however they've been taking an insane amount of bumps during their whole career. Even if they age great, their bodies can't keep doing that forever. Tony Khan is using the concept of nostalgia with the Hardys, an aspect of pro wrestling which is great for loyal fans who have been watching the product for a number of years. But here is where I find it a bit contradicting. You see, when AEW was created, it promised a new wrestling alternative. We were promised to get new faces, new feuds, things which are different from the other company, that being WWE. But all Jeff is doing right now is recreating old spots and jumping off ladders. As fans, we understand that considering Jeff's age and the amount of falls and bumps his body went through in his life, it's not really worth seeing these risks in every match. So why doesn't Tony Khan book them against main event level tag teams? Is Matt Hardy's split from the HFO taking too long? Well, I personally think so. Near the end of 2021, AEW's tag team division was slowing down and wasn't given that much of importance. Yet all of a sudden we have Red Dragon and the Young Bucks fighting for the right to challenge for the tag team championships, the Briscoes gaining more momentum and new fans now that Ring of Honor and AEW will share talent and work together, and FTR are currently going through a babyface turn as they fire Tully Blanchard and set themselves apart from MJF and The Pinnacle. Tony is giving us new feuds with these teams, young guys who are shaping up to be great wrestlers, getting help from more experienced teams, and then we have Matt and Jeff Hardy doing the same ladder spots they've been doing for years in their careers. People were excited to see the Hardys together in AEW, yet to many fans the hype was all over after a couple of weeks. I totally agree with this comment made on my recent poll, in which they state that Tony hyping up all of these debuts, making them feel like such a big deal, when in reality, with every huge announcement and debut he does, he's devaluing the previous debuts. Team Extreme and all this nostalgia is not going to work out long term. The Hardys' hype is already slowing down, as it happens with all debuts and returns. The fans want to see something different, something which we got a taste of in Impact Wrestling when Matt Hardy was on top of the wrestling world. Something which the WWE tried to continue on their shows yet couldn't achieve simply because they don't have a decent creative team who knows what they're doing. AEW needs to give us the Broken Hardys, Broken Matt and Brother Nero, and I'm not saying this because I honestly prefer this gimmick than Team Extreme, but this version of the Hardys has so much more potential for fun and new feuds, more interactivity with the crowd, and tons of promos and video packages. When Matt Hardy spoke with Essentially Sports a couple of months ago, he stated that the Broken Matt Hardy character is a very fan-driven character. It was just very hard for it to work as it should have without the fans in the venue. Obviously, the whole world was in the midst of this pandemic, so we just changed courses and I went to a more reality-based character in Big Money Matt. We took a step back from Broken Matt, and who knows, maybe now that the fans are back, you'll see Broken Matt again down the road. Matt Hardy teased the broken gimmick when Jeff wasn't even with AEW yet, so now that the brothers are reunited once again, couldn't this be a great opportunity for Matt to bring back the broken gimmick? Would you like to see the Broken Hardys in All Elite Wrestling? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, thanks for watching.